Hi, everybody. My name is Professor Audrey Gajakpo, and I'm the chairperson of the Equal Opportunities Board, EOB for short, of the University of Ghana. The EOB is the main body charged with the responsibility of implementing the university's gender policy. And we are a 13-member board made up of the chairperson, myself, and members representing the following constituents: the Office of the Registrar, Segensa, School of Law, Office of the Legal Counsel, and we have 2 members of convocation, 1 faculty and 1 non-faculty. We have a representative from TEWU, we have a representative from the Senior Staff Association, we have somebody from the SRC and GRASAC, and we have 2 external members, a male and a female. The administrator of Segensa is an ex officio member of the board. But it's important for you to understand what's in the gender policy for which we're going to be implementing. To promote, the gender policy is to promote equity, remove gender stereotyping, and set up a level playing field to allow all sexes at this university to fairly compete for available resources and to protect the dignity of persons. And the aim is to provide a framework. So the policy provides a framework for achieving gender equitable environment at this university, one that engages both males and females in all critical spheres of decision making. It aims to create an environment that values diverse perspectives based on gender equality. It aims to harness potentials supportive of men and women's diverse skills, perspectives, and knowledge, with the ultimate aim of enabling the realization of optimal productivity in the greater good of the university. So here are our objectives. Objective 1 is to promote measures to achieve gender equality at all levels within the university. Objective 2 is to promote measures to achieve balance in the ratio of male and female employees and students at the levels within the university. Objective 3 is to empower units within the university to identify and develop innovative gender balance plans. And objective 4 is to provide an avenue for redress when there's non-compliance with the policy. And that's very important for you to know. So the principles underlining the policy: gender friendliness, inclusivity, providing a secure environment which is free from direct or indirect forms of gender discrimination, providing space for equal participation in decision-making bodies, acknowledging the equal competence of employees of both sexes and students of both sexes, encouraging mutual respect and discouraging preference for one sex over the other, except in cases where the university has instituted special measures to achieve gender parity. So what is our mandate as a board? The Equal Opportunities Board's mandate must be clarified between that of another important body on campus, which is the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee. So we at the EOB, we handle gender-based discrimination. The Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee handles sexual harassment issues in particular. So even though we will complement the work of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee, your first recourse in cases of sexual harassment is to go to the Anti-Sexual Harassment Committee. Our responsibilities include implementing, monitoring, adjudicating, and promoting the gender policy, and hearing complaints about non-compliance with the policy. And I think it's important for you to understand some of the offenses we're going to be dealing with. So I'll start by pointing out that discrimination against any member of the university community is considered an offense. Also, subjecting any person to unfair treatment based on gender, making sexist remarks to one or more persons in private or in public, denying anyone promotion, grade, or award based on gender, sanctioning, denying privileges, opportunities, or grades, or threatening someone on grounds of gender or on the basis that the person has complained or reported an incident of gender discrimination or passed a fair comment on any matter, including an issue bordering on the application of the policy. Also, discrimination against a member of the university, whether student or faculty or staff, based on pregnancy or pregnancy-related conditions, introducing rules that consciously or unconsciously have or are likely to have a negative impact on a person or groups of persons based on their gender, subjecting a person to an act of gender-based violence, whether physical, including assault, deprivation of liberty, or psychological, emotional, economic, or sexual in nature, including coercive or transactional sex, rape, or sexual assault, subjecting a member of the university, including a subordinate or student, to unfair treatment based on the person's gender, and refusing or delaying without just cause or frustrating attempts to address a complaint or a report of gender discrimination. Now, how do you proceed if you have a complaint? Complaints by students should be raised first with the HOD, or you can raise it with the school, the college, hall master or warden, senior tutor, tutor of the hall, dean of students, the SLC, GRASAC, or administrator of the EOB. Then concerns that relate to the policy arising from matters before other committees within the university will be referred directly to the administrator of the EOB. Complaints may be raised orally or in writing. Concerns raised before immediate supervisors that are not adequately addressed shall be raised, you can raise it directly with the EOB. And what are the rights of complainants and the respondent? So for the complainant, if you feel aggrieved by any treatment which goes against the tenets of the gender policy, you have the right to pursue the matter and utilize the procedures that I've just described for redress. And you will not be reprimanded or victimized in any way. And if there are any individuals or groups of persons who make reports that are later found to have been fabricated, however, or maliciously made without regard to the truth, those persons or groups would be subjected to disciplinary action as per the university's disciplinary procedures. And for the respondent against whom a complaint is lodged, that respondent will be presumed innocent of the complaint unless and until found responsible by the EOB after due process or following an admission of culpability to the complaint leveled against him, her, or them. And there are two ways. We have a formal or an informal approach. The informal approach happens where a member of the university community feels that he or she has suffered from non-compliance with the policy. So that person may attempt to resolve the matter directly with the alleged offenders by pointing out the wrongful or unfair act. And then they may choose to ask a superior or a trusted person to intervene on their behalf. The intervener may provide advice or counseling to the parties involved, and this should be on a strictly confidential basis, and the discussion limited to the specific request that the complainant has made. So you can do that. But then there's that formal approach that I referred to earlier, where you lodge a complaint, if you think that you're a victim. And so you can present your grievance orally or in writing to the administrator of the EOB, and the EOB will take testimonies of other relevant persons and witnesses where available, and they will review the evidence. And where a respondent is found to have engaged in gender discriminatory acts or to have violated the tenets of the gender policy, the board will submit recommendations to the Vice Chancellor subject to Section 12 of the policy document for appropriate action to be taken. Another approach is any individual who has a complaint against the university in general can again lodge a written complaint to the administrator. The written statement will give details of the alleged discriminatory practice and, if possible, give details of dates, places, and names of those connected with the complaint. And the following may be considered as evidence during the hearing of the matter: written detailed account of the complainant and the respondents, statements from witnesses, statements of persons with whom the complainant might have discussed the incident or from whom advice may have been sought, any other documents, including audiovisuals, emails, SMS, WhatsApp messages, etc. Then there is provision for the withdrawal of a filed complaint. So you may withdraw a complaint filed with the board anytime after filing and during the process of the investigation. In such a case, the complainant will state in writing the reasons for withdrawing and sign it. And there's a code of conduct for EOB members. If there's a conflict of interest, they will recuse themselves. The refusal of respondents to respond to notice of filed complaint or to participate also, we've made provision for. So if people refuse to cooperate, the board will proceed to hear the complaint and adjudicate on the matter before it, even where a respondent refuses to respond to the allegations. And the board will proceed to hear a complaint, adjudicate on it as promptly as possible, and in most cases, within 60 working days of the date the request for formal investigation was filed. So that, again, that is good to know. And there'll be no retaliation. Strictly, we're going to be monitoring to make sure that an individual who is subjected to retaliation for having made a complaint in good faith or assisting someone with a complaint or participating in any manner in an investigation will be entitled to make a report to us, and we will take steps to address these. And by retaliation, we mean threats, intimidation, or acts that adversely affect employment or education prospects of a person. And we work with strict confidentiality to make sure that we protect the integrity of our proceedings. And so I will end here by saying you can contact and email the EOB Secretariat. And we have here for you the gender policy also that you can scan. So here's a scan of the gender policy. It's on the university website also. So we encourage you to read the policy, and we are open to you. We invite you to come to us so that we can address your concerns. Thank you very much.